ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवम् साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगत्पते गोपेशा गोपिका कांता राधा कांत नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमः ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिन् इति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। जयो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभो नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधरा श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna. Today we are continuing to chapter number 18. This is Moksha Sannyasa Yoga, or the perfection of renunciation. This is the chapter in which there is maximum shloka in the Bhagavad Gita. The 78 shlokas are in this one chapter. The second largest chapter is the second chapter, that is Sankhya Yoga. Now here, what Krishna is going to speak to Arjuna is the difference between Tyaga and Sannyasa. So the name of the chapter is Moksha Sannyasa Yoga. Sorry for the interruption. Today the system is different. It's not allowing me to share the screen. I request all the devotees to keep your book on in front of you, Bhagavad Gita. All of you keep the book Bhagavad Gita in front of you so that we can discuss directly Bhagavad Gita as it is. Take out chapter number 18. The first shloka says here, Arjuna Uvacha, Sannyasasya Mahabaho Tattvam Ichchami Veditum, Tyagasya cha Hrishikesha Prithak Keshi Nishudana. Now, Arjuna, he wants to know the difference between Tyaga and Sannyasa. The translation says that, O mighty armed one, I wish to understand the purpose of renunciation, that is Tyaga, and of the renounced order of life, Sannyasa, O killer of the Kesha demon, master of the senses. Here Arjuna is asking Krishna to know about the difference between Tyaga and Sannyasa. In general, these two words looks very similar. One is Tyaga and Sannyasa. Generally, people say those who take Sannyasa, they do Tyaga. But what to do the Tyaga actually means? Should I give up everything? Or is there any other meaning for this Tyaga and Sannyasa? Can I give up all my activities? Is it possible to live without doing any activity? This we have already seen in the second chapter of Bhagavad Gita, where Krishna says, nobody can live for a moment without doing any activity. And for maintaining the body also, a person has to do one or the other work. Then what does it mean to do Tyaga or Sannyasa? Is there any difference between the two, Tyaga and Sannyasa, or are they same meaning? This is Arjuna's question. Now Krishna is going to answer Arjuna's question, where Krishna is speaking here. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha, Kamyanam karmanam nyasam sannyasam kavayo viduhu sarva karma phalatyagam prahustyagam vichikshanaha. Now Krishna is bringing more terms here. One is Kamyanam karmanam nyasam, Kamya karma, and the Nitya karma. These are the two karma. Nitya karma also called Vihita karma. Now, the Nitya karma should not be given up. But Kamya karma, it can be given up by a person who wants to do Tyaga or Sannyasa. What is this Nitya karma or Vihita karma? Is the performance of Sandhya Vandana, the activities which we perform for the pleasure of the Lord and for one's own purification. All these are coming under Nitya karma, which should never be given up. But you have the right to give up the karma, which is called Kamya karma. What is this Kamya karma means? It is optional. You desiring to go to heaven, that is Kamya karma. You can give up. There is no dosha. There is no sin in that. Or there are people who do yajna for gaining wealth or name and so many things, for getting a good child, or in this way, putra kameshti yaga. All these are called kamya karma. It is like I have certain desire and I want to achieve it through the Vedas, and I'll work for that. That is called kamya karma. So one should give up the kamya karma and perform the nitya karma. That is called as sannyasa. And what is tyaga? In tyaga, the person will perform both. He will do the nitya karma as well as kamya karma. Then what is tyaga there? The tyaga is only the result of that activity. You can give up the result of your activity, but not the activity itself. How it is related to Arjuna? Here Arjuna has to fight the war. He has no option to fight or not, because he is representing Yudhishthir Maharaj, and if he doesn't fight, then Duryodhana will take over the kingdom. Now, after gaining the kingdom, whether to rule by himself or give it to a person who is qualified, that is in his hand. That is Tyaga. So result of that war, which he is going to win the kingdom, that can be given to someone, but he has no option for giving up the war itself. It is just like, in simple words, saying the mother, she has the option to eat or not. She can fast. If she likes, she can fast. But she cannot say that because I am fasting today, I will not cook. Because if she doesn't cook, then everyone in the house has to fast. So that is not allowed. So you cannot give up the activity, but you can give up the result of the activity. That is Tyaga in the true sense. Otherwise, nahi kaishchit kshanamapi jatu tishtati akarmakrit. Karyate havasha karma sarve prakriti jai gunai. According to the three modes of nature in which the living entities are bound, every person will do one or the other activity. He will not be able to sit quiet. Now Krishna also says Arjuna, if you don't fight here, you will fight somewhere else. Because if you go to forest also, there also you will do some other work. So you cannot stop your nature. Whatever the three modes in a person is having, according to that, he has to work. Now in the next shloka, third shloka, Krishna is explaining about the different opinions of the people. Tyajyam dosha vadityeke karma prahur manishinaha yajnadana tapakarma natyajyamiti chapare. Some learned men declare that all kinds of fruitive activities should be given up as faulty. Yet other sages maintain that acts of sacrifice, charity, and penance should never be abandoned. Now Krishna is telling Manishinaha. Manishina means a person who is intelligent. So Krishna is taking both, considering both people as Manishinaha. Means he is not disregarding them. So both are intelligent. What are they? Who are they? There are two people. These are called, one is called Kapila Sankhya, other one is given in the Jaimini, that is the Karma Mimamsa. So in Kapila Sankhya, it is said that all the activity which is having some fruits or fruitive activities, it has to be given up. And Jaimini says that Yajna, Dana, Tapa, these three should not be given up at any cost. Either you are in a sannyasashrama or grahasthashrama or brahmacharya or vanaprastha, these three things should not be given up. So these are the two opinions Krishna is presenting. One is a person can give up the fruitive results of his activity. That is called sannyasa. And the tyaga, in that the yajna, dana, tapa, these three things should never be given up. Now Krishna is going to tell his opinion. This is the opinion of different people. Now let us hear what Krishna says. Krishna wants to say, Nishchayam shrunume tatra tyage bharata sattama tyago hi purusha vyagra trivida samprakirtitaha. Krishna is calling Arjuna as Purusha Vyagra. That means he is a tiger among men. Why is he saying that like that? Because these small doubts and all, it cannot bewilder Arjuna. Arjuna can easily come out of all these doubts that is coming within his mind. And Arjuna also calling Krishna here as Keshi Nishudana, Hrishi Kesha in the first text itself. If you see the Hrishi Kesha, Keshi Nishudana, Mahabaho, these are the names Arjuna is using. So he is expecting Krishna to remove all his doubts. Krishna, I have so many doubts in my mind. Please remove. Just like you have killed so many demons, these doubts which are coming within my mind, they are like the demons. Please kill them. So this is Krishna's explanation or Krishna's opinion, where Krishna is going to explain, "Oh, best of the Bharatas, now hear my judgment." What is Krishna's judgment? Yajnadana tapa karma na tyajyam karyameva tat yajnodanam tapaschaiva pavanani manishinaha. So Krishna is also saying the same. Acts of sacrifice, charity and penance are not to be given up. They must be performed. Indeed, sacrifice, charity and penance purify even the great souls. These are the three things which should not be given up. So a person in whatever ashrama he may be, whatever varna one may be, these are the three things which one has to perform. Why it is so? If you observe, the yajna, dana and tapa, these are linked with the three kinds of trouble that we suffer within this material world. That is the Adibhautika, Adidaivika and Adhyatmika tapa. It's called tapatraya. By doing yajna, dana and tapa, one can come out of these three tapatraya. If you see one by one, one is the yajna. Yajna means the performance of sacrifice, which is meant for the satisfaction of demigods or the people who are at the higher power. And what is the klesha that is coming from the demigod? That is Adi Daivika Tapa. So anybody who performs yajna, he can come out of Adi Daivika Tapa. We all have studied these three things. What is Tapatraya? Everyone knows. The difficulties which is coming from the demigods is called Adi Daivika Tapa. The difficulties or the problems which are coming from other living entities surrounding us is called as Adi Bhautika Tapa. And the difficulties which is the problems which are coming within us in our own mind, misunderstanding or arrogance or fighting, all these things, Adhyatmika Tapa. So these are Adhyatmika, Adibhautika and Adidaivika Tapa. So Yajna is a solution for Adidaivika Tapa. Similarly, next Dana. Dana is given for whom? For the people who are around us. So by doing Dana, we are able to remove the Adi Bhautika Tapa. That means you are giving something to the other living entities so that they will become friendly to you. Adi Bhautika Tapa. And tapas or penance. By performing penance, a person gets control over the mind and senses. And by having the control over mind and senses, he can come out of the Adhyatmika Tapa. That means the problems, the difficulties which is arising within us. So these are the three problems, Adhyatmika, Adibhautika and Adidaivika Tapa, which can be nullified or it can be reduced. The effect is reduced by Yajna, Dana and Tapa. Pavanani Manishinaha. One must practice this. By practicing Krishna consciousness, all these things are automatically done. Yajna, among all the yajna, Japa yajna and Sankirtana yajna is the highest, which is meant for Kali Yuga. So by doing yajna for the Supreme Personality of Godhead, all the demigods will be satisfied. So that is how we can come out of this first tapatraya. Then performance of tapa. What is tapas? Getting up early in the morning and chanting 16 rounds is the greatest tapas. Those who are doing it, they know. If you consistently doing it, you will understand the effect. So that will give a control over the mind and senses. Devotees don't try to control their mind and senses by their own, but the control will happen when they engage their mind and senses in the service of the Lord. And dana is the charity which is given for the service of the Lord, and performance of the devotional service. These all will be by doing all these things, one can come out of the tapatraya. Srimad Bhagavate Mahamuni Krite Kimva Parairishwaraha Sadhya Hridyavarudyatetra Kritibihi Shushrushubhi Dakshana. Bhagavatam also it is Tapatrayon Mulanam. All the three tapa can be removed by studying Bhagavatam, by hearing Bhagavatam. So Krishna has given his opinion that Arjuna, one should not give up yajna, dana and tapa. So when we say sannyasa and tyaga, it means that one should give up kamya karma and should not give up nitya karma and should not give up yajna, dana and tapa. So this much we have understood in the beginning of, in the first 5 shloka. Now Krishna is again explaining in the 6th verse that there is no difference between tyaga and sannyasa. They both means the same. Etanyapitu sarvani sangam tyaktva phalani cha kartavyani iti me partha nishchitam matamuttamam. All these activities should be performed without attachment or any expectation of result. They should be performed as a matter of duty, O son of Pritha. That is my final opinion. So perform it as a matter of duty. Where it is told that the in Bhagavad Gita that a person cannot give up his activities completely. If you see 3.5 and also in the next coming shloka, in the 18.11, it is told that the activities cannot be completely given up. One has to perform one or the other activity. Niyatasyastu sannyasa karmano nopapadyate mohat tasya parityagas tat tamasa parikirtitaha. That is text number 7. Prescribed duties should never be renounced. If one gives up his prescribed duties because of illusion, such renunciation is said to be in the mode of ignorance. Without knowing what to be done, what is to be done, what is not to be done, if a person artificially gives up all the activities, then that kind of tyaga is in the mode of ignorance. Then dukkham ityeva yat karma kaya klesha bhayatyajet sa kritva rajasam tyagam naiva tyaga phalam labhet. And if you are giving up the activities, prescribed duties as troublesome or out of fear of bodily discomfort, is said to have renounced in the mode of passion. And such action never leads to the elevation of renunciation. Karyamityeva yat karma niyatam kriyate Arjuna sangam tyaktva phalam chaiva cha tyaga satviko mataha. So he has explained all the 3 types of tyaga. One is goodness, passion and ignorance. Starting with the ignorance, then passion, then he has explained what is the true renunciation in the mode of goodness. That is in the 9th text it is told. When a person performs his prescribed duty as a matter of duty and renounces all the material association and attachment to the fruit, that kind of renunciation is said to be in the mode of goodness. Continuing further. Na dveshtya kushalam karma kushale nanushajjate tyagi sattva samavishto medhavi chinna samshayaha. The intelligent renouncer situated in the mode of goodness, neither hateful of inauspicious work nor attached to auspicious work, has no doubts about the work. One should not be attached to the work or one should not be having any hatred to the work. He should do it as a matter of duty for purification. Such kind of activity has to be performed without getting attached to the result of the activity. Now, next continues, Krishna is continuing his explanation. So 11th shloka says that Nahi deha brata shakyam tyaktum karmanya sheshatah yastu karma phalatyagi satyagi abhidiyate. Arjuna, nobody can give up his work. Nobody can live for a moment also without doing any work. He has to perform one or the other work. So now what is clear for us? Being a living entity who are embodied in this material body, one has to perform the work, and at the same time he has to perform tyaga or sannyasa. It has to be done. Now somebody may say, oh, tyaga is difficult. Okay, nobody can do any give up all the activities. So let me don't do anything. I just live like ordinary person, like a animal. Then what is the problem? That is explained in the 12th text here. Now, if somebody doesn't give up the result of his activity, or if he is working with attachment, either in the passion or in the ignorance, then what happens? Anishtam ishtam mishram cha trividham karma phalam bhavatya tyaginam pretya natu sannyasinam kochit. For one who is not renounced, the threefold fruits of action, that is desirable, undesirable, and mixed, occur after death. But those who are in the renounced order of life have no such result to suffer or enjoy. As Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Dvaite bhadra abhadre sakali sama. E bhadra, e manda, e bhala, e manda, sabi manodharma. That means, in the material world, if you say something is good and something is bad, it is all mental speculation. Actually, nothing is good in this material world. It is all suffering only. There is no enjoyment. If you say enjoyment, it is another kind of suffering. The interval between two suffering is called enjoyment within this material world. So one cannot be happy within this material world. So if somebody doesn't do this tyaga, or one doesn't care for doing the renunciation, then there are three possibilities. One is ishta, then anishta, then mishra. Ishta means he will go to the swarga, he will go to the heavenly planets for the results of his activity, for the whatever yajna, whatever activities he has performed, he is attached to it, so he will get the result. And anishta, when we perform activities, it is not certain that we do all good only. There are so many mistakes that we perform, because of which a person may go to hell also. Just like the example of Nriga, he becomes a lizard in his next life. Hope you know all these stories. I'll not elaborate. Then Mishra. Mishra means a person will stay within this earthly planet itself as a human being or as an animal. That is Mishra Phala. So in this way, the person can get three kinds of result, which is undesirable. This is not recommended for anyone. Don't take up any of this. Either don't go for Ishta, don't go for Anishta, or don't go for Mishra Phala. You don't take the Phala itself. Just give up the result of your activity. Now, somebody may ask, why should I work now? As Krishna says, karmanyeva adhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana ma karma phala hetuvu ma te sangosta karmani. This is very big question for many people. Krishna, you are telling me you do all the activities but don't expect any result. Then why should I work? What is the need for me to work? I will just sit quiet. I don't do anything. Because you only told, if I expect any result, then I will be suffering. Because material enjoyment or suffering, it is finally suffering only. Now I don't do any activity. But if you do the activity without expecting the result, then you will get something very great. What is that? The person will not be bound by the reaction of his activity. This is the greatest benediction a person can achieve in his life. This is like you do all the activities, but there is no reaction. What example we can take for this? This is like a soldier who is fighting for the nation. He will take all the weapons and ferociously he will fight against the enemies, and he will kill all the people who are against him, and he comes back to home. Now, generally killing is a punishable offense, but will this person will be punished? No. He will be rewarded. He will get Paramavira Chakra, or he will be getting so much of honor. Why? Because he has won the war. Just like if you see the kings, when they win a certain war and they come back to their kingdom, how much honor they receive. So it is celebrated. He is coming after killing so many people, but still it is celebrated. Why? Because he has done that for the protection of the land. So same way, when we perform activity on behalf of Krishna, as a service to Krishna, without getting attached to the result of the activity, then the person will not get any result or the reaction. We are in this material world only because of the reaction of our activity. It is either the king of heaven or an insect in the earth. This is told in Brahma Samhita. Yastvindra gopa mathavendra mahosva karma bandhanurupa falabhajana matanoti. Karmani nirdahati kintucha bhakti bhajam govindam adipurusham tamaham bhajan. Krishna, here Brahma is glorifying Lord Krishna. Yastu Indra Gopam. Indra Gopa is a very small insect which is not visible to our eyes. And Athavendram, the king of heaven, Indra, both are enjoying their results of their activities, which is because of the attachment to the result. That suffering is not there for us. Karmani nirdahati kintuja bhakti bhajam. By doing devotional service, all your results will be nullified. It will be burnt. Nirdahati bhakti bhajam, by performing devotional service. Then what is the result? If you don't have any criminal background or any credit, you will not be kept in the jail anymore. You will be out of it. So one can go out of this material world very easily, because we are not qualified to be in this material world anymore. As long as a person is having some sinful background, he has to be in this material world. But if there is no reaction, then what will keep you here? You will be kept outside the material world. So that is the greatest benefit of performing tyaga. So one has to perform tyaga. Tyaga means giving up the result of one's activity. Now Krishna is going to elaborate on this point again. This is all just theory now. Why Krishna is telling that the reaction will not come to you? This is not yet elaborately explained. It is just told that like that. If you do this, you will get this. But how? How is that if I don't get attached to the result of my activity, I don't get the result? This is something, some science is there behind this. So that is being explained in the next shloka. If you see the 13th shloka. Panchaitani mahabaho karanani nibodhame sankhye kritante proktani siddhaye sarva karmanam. O mighty armed Arjuna, according to the Vedanta, there are 5 causes for the accomplishment of all actions. Now learn of these from me. Krishna is telling, actually, you are not the doer. You are only thinking that you are doing, but you are not doing the activity at all. Then why you get the reaction? Because you think that you have done it. That's why you get the reaction. If you realize that you are not the doer, which is a fact, it is not an imagination. It is not that I will do all the activity and only in my mind I will think that I am not the doer, I am not the doer, just like that. It is not an imagination. It is a fact. We are realizing the fact. We are not imposing some imaginary idea upon ourselves and thinking that I am not the doer. No. You are realizing the fact that you are not the doer. For that, Krishna is elaborating on this point. He's telling that there are 5 causes needed for any activity to be performed. Without all these 5, any activity will not happen. So when we perform any activity, we think that everything is because of me. But there are 5 things needed. What are they? Adhishtanam. One is you need the place. Second one is karta, the performer. Third one is karanam, that is senses. Fourth one is cheshta, that is the prayatna or the endeavor, effort. Final cause is Lord, Daiva, the Daivam Chaivatra Panchamam. All these 5 things are needed. Just like if you want to do this video call, we need a place, proper place, and where we sit, and we need light, we need all the proper ventilation, everything is needed. So that is a place. And then we ourselves should be there in front of the camera speaking, that is karta. Then we need karanam. One is the karana, our own senses, eyes, ear and tongue. These are the most important. And also these 5 senses are connected to the machine, that is through the camera, microphone and speaker. These 3 will be added to that. So these all are karana. And then cheshta, the effort should be there. Even though everything is there, but I am not interested to take the class, or I am not interested to hear the class, then also everything is wasted. So that is prayatna, effort should be there. But if the 5th one is not there, nothing will happen. Who is not visible? He is like matta parataram na anyat kinchidasti dhananjaya mai sarvam idam protam sutre maniganaiva. Krishna is like the thread in the necklace of pearls. He is not visible, but without him nothing will happen. But we think that only because of me everything has happened, which is the cause of our bondage. So that is what Krishna is going to explain here. He's trying to explain that you are not the doer. These 5 things are needed for any activity to happen. Now continuing further, 15th shloka. Sharira Vangmayo Bhiryat Karma Prarabhate Naraha Nyayam Va Viparitam Va Panchayate Tasya Hetavaha. Whenever, whatever right or wrong action a man performs by body, mind or speech is caused by these 5 factors. We perform the activities through 3 things. One is Sharira, Vang, Mana. That is through the body we perform the activity, through the speech we perform the activity, and through the mind we perform the activity. All these things are needs these 5 things. Now while doing this, if a person thinks that I am the doer, then he gets bound. But if a person understands that I am not the doer, then he will be liberated. That is, he is the Nirahankrita. That is explained in the next text. Tatraivam sati kartaram atmanam kevalam tu yaha pashyatya krita buddhitvan na sa pashyati durmatihi. This is the first one. Durmati. Durmati means the person who thinks that he is the doer. 16th, if you see the translation. Therefore, one who thinks himself the only doer, not considering the 5 factors, is certainly not very intelligent and cannot see things as they are. The person who thinks that he is the doer without caring for the Lord, he is the durmatihi. Yasya nahankrito bhavo. Here the person who is understanding the reality, he is called as nahankrita. Nahankrita means one who has understood the fact. Durmati means one who has not understood the fact. Yasya nahankrito bhavo buddhir yasya na lipyate hatva pisa na iman lokan hanti na nibadyate. This is directly told to Arjuna only. This is referring to Arjuna only, where Krishna is telling one who is not motivated by false ego, whose intelligence is not entangled, though he kills men in this world. This is Arjuna is going to kill the men in this world in Kurukshetra now. Does not kill, nor is bound by his actions. This is like a soldier who is killing for the sake of the government. So in that way, the person has to perform activity. Now Krishna is not leaving any option for us. It is not optional for a person to perform this tyaga. One must perform it if he wants to get liberated. Otherwise, one will suffer. So this is all one part, the first part of the explanation. Now, from the 18th shloka up to the 40th shloka, Krishna is going to explain why the living entity is not capable of performing activity. Now, among the five, there was karta. Karta means the person who is doing the activity. Why the credit is not given for him? If you see all the other things, it is like they are instruments. Adhishtanam, it's a place. You cannot give the credit for the place. Oh, this place was there, that's why the work happened. Or these senses were there, that's why they happened. None of these people will take the credit. Either it is the karta or the Lord himself who will take the credit. But none of they will actually take the credit. Then to whom this credit will go? That is elaborately explained from the text number 18 up to text number 40. Who is the real doer? Karma chodana, it is called. Karma chodana means one which encourages or motivates a karma to happen. Krishna explains here 3 plus 3. 3 reason for karma chodana or motivation, and karma sangraha, that is the constituents of karma. Jnanam jneyam parijnata trividha karma chodana karanam karma karteti trividha karma sangraha. So 3 things, 3 plus 3, total 6. Karma chodana and karma sangraha. What are the karma chodana, or who is motivating the activity? One is jnana, that is knowledge. If you want to do any activity, you need to have the knowledge. Just like if you want to do the Zoom call, you should at least know how the Zoom works, how to log in, how to put the code, and how to switch on the camera. All these things you should know. And then jnaya, the object of knowledge, what you are going to learn. We are studying Bhagavad Gita here. We are trying to learn about Krishna. So that is jnaya. Then parijnata, that is the person who is learning, knower. So 3 things are needed. Jnana is needed, knowledge, and jnaya, through the knowledge what you are going to learn, understand. And finally the parijnata, the person who is receiving the knowledge. And then karma sangraha, that is constituents of the work or karma activities. One is karma itself, the work, and karana, the instruments, the senses, and the karta or worker. Constituents means the existence of the objects. One is activity should be there, and instrument should be there, and also the performer should be there. All these things are needed. From the 19th text onwards, Krishna is going to explain about 3 modes. He's introducing the 3 modes. It's not for the first time he's introducing. He has already explained this in the 17th chapter, but this will be the continuation of the same or similar knowledge, where 3 kinds of jnana, karma, and karta. If you take the six things together, the knowledge and karma, the activity, and the karta or the worker. These three things will be explained in regards to goodness, passion, and ignorance. Now we can get an idea who is the doer. If these three modes are not there, person will not perform material activities. If these three modes are the cause of the activity, then how can we call ourselves to be the result cause of the activity? Which is not possible. Prakrite kriyamanani gunai karmani sarvashah. Ahankara vimudhatma kartaham iti manyate. The prakriti guna, sattva, rajas, tamas, is the performer, and one who is ahankara vimudhatma, one who is bewildered by the false ego, he will think that I am the doer. And by thinking I am the doer, the person gets punished. It is just like a person performs, there is some murder happens, and the police will come and ask, who has done this murder? And the person will say, yes, I have done. Whether he has done or not, that is immaterial. Since he has told that he has done it, he will get punished. Similarly, the person thinks that I am the doer. Okay, you are claiming that you are the doer. Now you will take the result of this activity. So, ishtam, anishtam, mishram cha. These three results will be obtained. Text number 19 onwards, Krishna explains about the guna bheda, the three modes here. So what are the things he is explaining here? Jnanam karmam cha karta cha tridhaiva guna bhedataha prochyate guna sankhyane yatha vachrunu tanyapi. This is the modes controls all the activities and all the living entities. They all are controlled by the three modes. These three modes are like the colors. Like a painter, he will use the three basic color, red, blue, green, or whatever. There are three colors, red, yellow, green, or somebody say like that also. So by using these three colors, he can create millions of colors. He can make different combinations, and he can create any kind of painting, any kind of color that our eyes can recognize. It is all coming from the basic three colors. Similarly, these three modes combined in so many ways, the Lord has made this 84 lakh species of life. Some of the living entities are in Sattva Guna, some are in Rajo Guna, and some are in Tamo Guna, some are in the mixture of Sattva and Raja, some are in Raja and Tama, and some are different combinations. Like 3 into 3 into 3. There are 84 lakh species of life. The cow is in the Sattva Guna. The monkey, which is in the Tamo Guna. And the tiger, which is in Rajo Guna. And many other living entities are in between. And in human beings, all kinds of animals are there. All kinds of gunas are there. What kind of lifestyle he cultivates, accordingly, he will come under certain guna. Now, how to identify this guna? In which guna I am? In which mode I am? That can be explained. So first, Krishna will take 3 topics from the 6 things that he has told. Karma chodana and karma sangraha. Karma chodana, there are jnana, jnaya, parijnata, and karma sangraha is karma, karana, karta. Here karta and parijnata are same. Karma chodana, parijnata, that is knower, that is the person himself, and also karta, the person who is performing the activity. In karma sangraha, it is also same. So the karta is explained. First, he will start with the jnana and karma, then he will explain karta. So starting with the 20, 21, 22 explains jnana. 23, 24, 25 explains karma. 26, 27, 28 explains karta. Then again he takes 3 more topics, that is buddhi, dhriti, sukha. The knowledge and the determination and happiness. That is explained in next consecutive 3 plus 3 plus 3. Buddhi is explained in 30, 31, 32. Dhriti 33, 34, 35. And Sukha, that is 36, 37 together for goodness. And then 38, 39. Up to 39, one can go on reading. We can get an idea what are the symptoms of a person in the mode of goodness, in the mode of passion, and in the mode of ignorance. Then finally, in the text number 40, Krishna says that here, O Arjuna, everyone is under these three modes only. Nobody can come out of these modes. As long as we are in this material world, we are bound with this in this three modes. Either it is demigod or human being or the demons. All are controlled by these three modes. After knowing all these things, the question comes to our mind, then Krishna, how can I escape? It is an obvious question. Krishna is telling Arjuna, all are bound here. And these are the three ropes. One is a golden chain, other one is silver chain, other one is iron chain. So you like golden chain or silver chain or iron chain? Intelligent person says, I don't like any of this because it's a bondage. Then what is the solution? How can I come out of this? For this reason, we have Varnashrama. Varnashrama system is designed in the society so that a person will choose his ashrama and varna based on the mode in which he has situated. Chatur varnyam maya srishtam guna karma vibhagashaha. Tasya kartaram apimam vidhi akartaram avyayam. Again, here also Krishna says, I have done, but understand that I have not done. This is also based on the previous philosophy what he has explained already. Because Krishna is not attached to this material world or the result of it, so Krishna will not doesn't have the reaction for it, or he will not get attached. So I will not go to explain reading all this. You can read yourself from text number 20 up to text number 40 how the three modes are controlling us. If you have any doubts, you can ask later. Now let us continue to text number 41. So in 41, you can read this while coming to the next class. And among these, if you have any doubts, you can ask. Okay, text number 40 says that Natadasti prithivyam divi deveshu vapunaha sattvam prakriti jair muktam yadebi sya tribhir gunaihi. There is no being existing either here or among the demigods in the higher planetary systems which is freed from these three modes born of material nature. So all are bound with this material nature. Now Krishna gives the solution for that. What is the solution? Brahmana kshatriya visham shudranam cha parantapa karmani pravibhaktani swabhava prabhavair gunai. Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya and Shudra are distinguished by the qualities born of their own natures in accordance with the material modes, O chastiser of enemy. Now somebody may be in the mode of goodness. So how can I understand in which mood I am? That is explained here. If you go through that text, you can understand in which mode a person is. How much time we have? Okay, let me read at least three texts. Jnana 20, 21, 22. Okay, that knowledge by which one undivided spiritual nature is seen in all living entities, though they are divided into innumerable forms, you should understand to be in the mode of goodness. And that knowledge by which one sees that in every different body there is a different type of living entity, you should understand to be in the mode of passion, and that knowledge by which one is attached to the one kind of work as the all in all, without knowledge of truth, and which is very meager, is said to be in the mode of darkness. So this is the jnana in the three modes, sattva, rajas, and tamas. So based on this, we can understand in which mode I am. Based on that, we have to choose the ashrama or varna and ashrama. Anyhow, varna one has to choose. Ashrama is one everyone will start with the student life, that is brahmacharya, grahastha, vanaprastha, sannyasa. So in whichever mode a person is, he will be considered as brahmana, kshatriya, vaishya, and shudra. But unfortunately, at the present moment, this has become like a caste system. This is especially made by the politicians for various reasons. But why Krishna has made, he has made it guna karma vibhagashaha, not based on the janma. But at the present moment, people think that it is based on the janma. Wherever I have born, whatever the father has got the qualities, similarly the son will be identified. But in the Vedic time, it was not like that. Identifying a person based on his birth is like in the modern society, if the father is a doctor, and if the son cannot be called as doctor unless he do the study, unless he does MBBS or MD, he will not be called as doctor. He may be interested in becoming an engineer or a lawyer. Then he will be called with that name only. He will not be called as doctor. Of course, there is a lot of chance for a son to become a doctor when his father is already a doctor. That is what generally happens. And that is what happened also in the previous ages. What father did, same thing the son continued. So it became a tradition. Okay, father is doing this, so son will also do the same. So they will get the surname. And now also the surname is present based on the activity which they were doing earlier. But now it is not reliable. It is not proper to identify people with that name. Like Kalau Shudra Sambhavaha. In Kali Yuga, everyone is a Shudra. Now somebody may say, why only in India all these things are there? Is it not there in abroad? It is also there. It is everywhere because Krishna has made this system. Because Krishna has made it, it must be there everywhere. It is said that the civilization begins when there is Varnashrama. Without Varnashrama, there is no civilization possible. How? Now, if you see the example, every nation, every society needs a visionary. How the society has to run. Somebody has to give the guidance. And there also needed the protection. The military power must be there. Otherwise, somebody may come and encroach all our property. We are living peacefully. We are walking peacefully in the society. We are doing our job. It is because the government is in order. The law and order is properly working. And there must be somebody who is creating the economic development, the job opportunities, and somebody is making the money to flow. Somebody is making, getting the job work, extracting from someone, and he is making the things to work, or the money is flowing. That is the Vaishya. And also the Shudra, he is also needed. He is serving all the three other categories of people. If there is no Shudra, none of them, other people cannot work. Everyone needs the help of him. The Brahmanas are generally lesser in number, and more than that in number is Kshatriya. More than them will be Vaishya, and Shudras are more in number. So this is how the social structure is there. It is there in India or in any other country. And if you find any country which doesn't have this, there the human beings are getting slaughtered. The country in which there is no government, the country in which there is no proper guidance, the country in which children doesn't get education, and there is no guarantee if a person leaves his house and goes out, there is no guarantee he will come back. Such kind of situation arises if there is no Varnashrama. But what is the problem with the modern Varnashrama system? The goal is unknown. The system is like a dead elephant. A dead elephant also has value. It can be used for so many purposes. So the present Varnashrama, it is Asuric, but still it is doing some work so that people can live some peace is there. It is like a dead elephant. But elephant, if it is alive, it will do so many things. The Varnashrama system, if it is followed properly, which is called Daivi Varnashrama, it can take somebody back to Godhead. But at the present moment, this present Varnashrama system which we are following, it is just allowing us to exist, some peace of mind, some opportunity to live. But it has to be corrected. But Srila Prabhupada has given the direct method, that is this Harinama Sankirtana, Kalautad Hari Kirtanat. By doing Hare Krishna Mahamantra Kirtan, one can directly go back to Godhead. Now, Varnashrama system, it is the slow process and it is a stepping stone towards the devotional service. If a person is performing Varnashrama, he is following Varnashrama, then he has to advance further. One should not stay there. It is just like it is said, one should not construct a house on the bridge. Bridge is meant for crossing, not for building a house there. Nobody is going to build the house on the bridge. Similarly, don't try to settle down in the Varnashrama system. One has to advance by performing activities. And every activity will have one or the other reaction. That is also explained in the next coming shloka. So 41 to 48, Krishna is explaining how the Varnashrama system can purify a person. This Varnashrama, as it is told, it is like a stepping stone. We should use it for achieving Krishna, but should not get entangled to it. If a person gets entangled, then the actual the purpose is lost. What Krishna says in 41 here. So 41 shloka says that Brahmana Kshatriya Visham Shudranam cha Parantapa Karmani Pravibhaktani Swabhava Prabhavair Gunai. So Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya and Shudras are distinguished by the qualities born of their own natures, not by birth, in accordance with the material modes at outsiders of enemy. Next comes the very famous shloka. These are series of shlokas, very important. If one remembers this shloka, it is very good. What are the different qualities of a Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra? All these things are continuously explained by Krishna. So if you claim yourself to be a Brahmana, then these are the qualities. Brahmana doesn't mean my father is a Brahmana, so I am also Brahmana. That is not the case. Here Krishna is explaining these are the qualities. If you want to really call yourself to be a Brahmana, then these qualities must be there within you. What are they? Shamo, Damo, Tapo, Shaucham, Kshanti, Marjavamevacha, Jnanam, Vijnanamastikyam, Brahma Karma, Swabhavajam. Peacefulness, self-control, austerity, purity, tolerance, honesty, knowledge, wisdom, and religiousness. These are the natural qualities by which the Brahmanas work. I request everyone to go through the purport in which Prabhupada has explained all these qualities elaborately. Then, what are the qualities of a Kshatriya? Shauryam, Tejo, Dhruti, Daksham, Yuddhecha, Apalayanam, Danam, Ishvara Bhavascha, Kshatras Karma Swabhavajam. Heroism, power, determination, resourcefulness, courage in battle, generosity, and leadership are the natural qualities of work for the Kshatriyas. And for the Vaishya and Shudra, Krishi Goraksha Vanijya Vaishya Karma Swabhavajam, Paricharyatmakam Karma Shudrasyapi Swabhavajam. Farming, cow protection, and business are the natural work for the Vaishyas. And for the Shudras, there are labor and service to others. These are the qualities explained for the 4 Varnas. Next, further continuation. What one should do? Sve sve karmana abhirataha sansiddhim labate naraha. Swakarma nirata siddhim yatha vindati Tatshrunu. By following his qualities of work, every man can become perfect. Now please hear from me how this can be done. A person can come to the perfection in whatever state he may be. So based on the explanation previously given, a person has to identify in which mode he is, and based on that one should accept the varna and he has to work accordingly. A Shudra should not try to imitate a Brahmana, or a Brahmana should not be expected to behave like a Shudra, or we should not treat a Brahmana in the same manner as the Shudra, or a Shudra should not be given as the same work, as the same responsibility as a Brahmana, because they have not qualified. It is also again not with the birth. It is just like in a college, there are faculties who are teaching the students, and there are also people who are working in the office, those who are dealing with the money, and there are also people who are keeping the entire college clean. So these are different people. You cannot ask one person to do the work of another person. Wherever they are designated, they will work there. If you interchange, then it is not possible. Just say, for example, now this kind of faculty has not come. Okay, there is a sweeper. Okay, you come, go to the class, take this class. That is not possible. We are not chastising anyone. We should understand. People take it in a wrong way. Why are making discrimination? Everyone is equal. No, nobody is. You cannot say everyone is equal. Everyone is designated within their own way. So everyone should be given respect in their own way, in whatever place they are situated. Otherwise, it is not possible. That's why Krishna is telling you, do your work. Whatever work you have chosen, whatever work is designated to you, you perform it with sincerity. There is purification. Krishna is not telling that only Brahmanas are pure. A Shudra also, if he is very obedient to his master, he is getting purification. He will get the mercy of the Lord. He will be advancing in his life, in his spiritual life. So don't try to do something artificially. Be wherever you are, but perform Krishna consciousness. Now let us continue. Yata pravrittir bhutanam yena sarvamidam tatam swakarmana tam abhyarcha siddhim vindati manava. The siddhi will be available for whom? By worship of the Lord, who is the source of all beings and who is all pervading. A man can attain perfection through performing his own work. Performing his own work, whatever work is designated to him, if he is performing it sincerely, then he will get the blessings of the Lord. Attain perfection through performing his own work. Now next, Krishna is telling what will happen if I imitate. If I imitate somebody else, then what will happen? This is the answer. Shreyan swadharmo vigunaha paradharmat swanushtitat swabhava niyatam karma kurvannapnoti kilbisham. Don't try to imitate. What will happen? It is better to engage in one's own occupation, even though one may perform it imperfectly, never mind, than to accept another's occupation and perform it perfectly. Duties prescribed according to one's nature are never affected by sinful reactions. So without getting attached to the result of the activity, if a person performs his prescribed duty, then he will get the purification. But if he tries to imitate others, thinking that whatever activity he is doing, he thinking that it is contaminated work. Oh, I am Shudra. How can I do this work? Whatever I do, it's all contaminated. I am a fallen. These Brahmanas are doing great. They are pure people. Only they can get the blessings of the Lord. No, that question is also answered in 48 text number. Sahajam karma kaunteya sadosham api natyajet. Sarvaramba hi doshena dhumenagni evavrata. Krishna is giving the example of fire. Fire is the purest thing, but it is also covered by smoke. So just like dhumena avryate vahni, the dhuma, the smoke which covers the fire, Similarly, every activity, either it is an activity of a Brahmana or a Kshatriya or a Vaishya or a Shudra, everything has some amount of contamination. But because that contamination is there, it doesn't mean that you should give it up. You need the fire, but you should tolerate the smoke. When we start making the fire, especially now it is very easy, just put the starter, the LPG will give the fire. That is presently possible. But if you are using the wood, in the beginning there is little struggle to make the fire. First you will get the smoke. After that the fire will come, and as the fire grows more and more, then smoke will go away. It will become very small, almost it becomes nil. So because the smoke covers the fire, similarly every activity will cover every activity is covered with by certain amount of contamination. Now what is the contamination? Brahmanas will do certain kama karma. Somebody will call and ask him to perform some yajna, and that yajamana, the person who is making that yajna, he may have some material desire, and this person has to do that. Or the sacrifice of animals, that is also a kind of contamination. And Kshatriya, he has to be always diplomatic. He cannot tell the truth to his enemy, and he will be speaking something in the front, and behind he will be doing so many calculations. If this happens, what should I do? If this happens, like that. I trust this person very much, but if this person cheats me, then what I should do? So all these diplomatic activities he has to do. And what about the Vaishya? He has to hide his profit. If he tells everyone what is his profit, then he cannot make any profit. He will tell that I am giving all these products without making any profit. But why do you do any business without making any profit? Then give up the activity itself. That is not possible. There is some profit, but profit should be hidden. So that is some kind of contamination. A Shudra, the master may be some sinful person or some arrogant, but still he has to work under him because he has taken that job. So these all are contaminations. One has to move on. At the same time, one has to work for the purification. So by doing all these activities without getting attached to the result of the activity, the person can come out of this contamination or bondage. So now we have come to the text number 48. Now 49 onwards, it is talking about Brahman realization. Hope this will take in the next class because there are 78 texts. So we have come nearly more than half of the chapter is done. So from 49 onwards, we'll take the next part. So up to here, it is almost like material things. From here, the God realization begins. What happens here is, so overall conclusion is, in the beginning, we have understood one should perform sacrifice or tyaga must be done. If you don't do tyaga, then we will be bound within this material world only. Ishtam, anishtam or mishram cha, phalam. And both are suffering. The material suffering or enjoyment, both are suffering only. And if you want to come out of it, then tyaga is needed, sacrifice is needed. Now what is real tyaga? Kamyanam karmanam nyasam sannyasam kavayo viduhu. Give up your kama karma. Then Krishna is telling that if you give up this result of activity, the fruit of your activity, then you will get the knowledge. What is that knowledge? You are not the doer. The result of performing karma yoga is jnana yoga, and result of performing jnana yoga is the realization of Brahman. So that will be explained in the next class. So perform your activity as a matter of karma yoga. Karma yoga, the word yoga comes when you have Krishna in that. If there is no Krishna involved, then it becomes karma kanda. If you have Krishna in the karma, then it is karma yoga. So performing karma yoga without expecting any result, the person develops the knowledge that I am not the doer. And when a person realizes that I am not the doer, then he will be able to perform the activity without getting entangled. And this will lead to the first realization. Brahmeti, Paramatmeti, Bhagavaniti Shabdate. There are three realizations of God. The first one is Brahman. This is explained in the beginning itself, in the second chapter itself, it is explained. The Brahman realization is like the light or the sunlight. The Paramatma realization is like sun planet. And Bhagavan realization is the sun god, Vivaswan. I don't go in detail to this because we already learned this. So the first realization, Brahman realization, will come when a person performs this Jnana Yoga or acting with the knowledge. A person working with knowledge and without knowledge, externally it looks very similar, but there is a lot of difference. Person working in ignorance, he is getting bound more and more. But a person who is working in knowledge, every step he is getting liberated. Just like a person who is cooking for himself, every morsel of food that he is eating, he is getting entangled more and more. And a person who eats prasadam after offering to Krishna, every morsel of food that he is eating, it is liberating him. Externally it looks same, but there is a lot of difference. So this Brahman realization we'll study in the next chapter. Those who have any doubts in today's class, they can raise their hand and ask the questions. I request everyone to give the attendance for today's class as Mataji has shared it. You can raise your hand for asking any questions. Yeah, Anu Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, am I audible?
Yes, Mataji.
Prabhuji, you said if I lie, I have not killed, then I am not the doer. But if I say I have killed, then who is the doer?
If you say you have killed, then you will be punished. If you understand that you have not killed, then you will not be punished.
But if I have actually killed, why should I lie?
You have not killed, Mataji. You cannot kill. You don't have the power to kill. This analogy has limitation. You're telling that you have done the work, but Krishna is telling you cannot do the work because three modes are doing the work. Are you getting?
Yes, Prabhuji, associated with that, the next question. When I'm when I'm not here in this world, in the spiritual platform, before I came here, I was given free will. By that, I could desire. And by desiring, when I'm in the spiritual world, there are no material elements. So what will I desire? And as you said, when we leave this material world, mind, intelligence, and false ego are also material elements. We leave them here. And in our pure form, we go there.
Yes.
Maybe we have some pure intelligence. I don't know about it.
Yes.
So how is it that desiring, when you don't have mind and intelligence, only free will, and you don't have material elements with you, how will you desire something which you have never seen?
The soul, it's called Antakarana, mind, intelligence, and ego. They are not separate entities. They are same. That means the intelligence is there for the soul as well. The senses are there even for the Lord also. Angani yasya sakalendriya vritti manti pashyanti panti kalayanti chiram jaganti. The Lord is also having the senses. The living entity is also having the senses, mind, and intelligence, and the real ego, which says that Jivera Sarupahaya Krishnera Nityadasa. And around these senses, the subtle body and the gross body is covering. Just like I have two hands, so my shirt also has two hands. My shirt doesn't have four hands. Why? Because I have only two hands, so only two hands are kept for my body, for my shirt. Similarly, the soul has the mind, soul has the senses. Because of that, our Sukshma Sharira and the Stula Sharira, the gross body and this subtle body is designed in that way. So you can't say in the spiritual world we don't have intelligence. It's a purified intelligence which is there. And your first question, why did we come here? This question cannot be answered, and no Acharya has given any comment on this. It is like, just like only one thing we can say, a person who has fallen into the water and he is being helped by someone to come out. And that person is telling that, first let me know who has put me here, and then I'll come out. That is foolishness. First, I want to know how did I come here? Who put me, who threw me in this well? Then after knowing that person, I will come out. That is not very intelligent. First you come out, then we will see what to do. That is the answer, because nobody can answer this question. Why did we come here?
Another question, Prabhuji, about Varnashrama. You say birth is as per karma, but your nature is as per your modes. So when you are given birth as per your karma, and like Vidura was, he's always referred as what is it, maid son,
Yes.
maid son.
Yeah.
So why was he not crowned as the king? Both sons had some problem, physical and problem. So he was the normal person, and he was Satyavati's son's son only. So why did she not make him the son, and why did she have to, bring two props as king who created such problems?
Yeah. Who was ruling the kingdom?
Who was ruling the kingdom? Satyavati?
No. Who ruled the kingdom?
Kshatriyas.
Yeah. Who is that person?
Her husband, and then Bhim.
No. Tell me the name. Who ruled the kingdom in Mahabharata?
Who ruled? Duryodhan.
No, Duryodhan never became the king.
No, Dhritarashtra.
Yeah, Dhritarashtra, did he rule the kingdom actually? Do you think? He was only sitting there. He was meant to be a person to be on the throne. But if you see who is the real ruler, or the Shasana which is made, it is by Vidura. There is a topic called Vidura Niti, in which Vidura is explaining how one should rule the kingdom. It was Vidura who has given all the intelligence, and also Bhishma Dev who instructed Yudhishthir Maharaj. So practically it was those intelligent people who took care of the kingdom. Others were only just for namesake, they were there.
Okay, well. Another question, Prabhuji. When in 17.19 you said, when there is ignorance, there is self-torture, and Paramatma has to take a pain. So I want to ask, when soul is not, it does not get affected by even fire. So how is it that it is capable of pain and distress?
Yeah, this is the question. This is like, you should understand the sentence what is being told. As Krishna tells, Trividam Narakasyedam Dwaram Nashanam. That means the three gates for hell, they will destroy the soul. What does it mean? When Krishna says that Nainam Chindanti Shastrani, the soul cannot be killed, and again he is telling that there are three things which can kill the soul or destroy the soul. What does it mean?
Ignorance.
It will degrade the soul, or it will put the soul into trouble. The soul will take the pain of being in the hell. So going to the hell is considered here as Nashanamatmana, or destroying the soul. Even in Ishopanishad it is told soul killers. Soul cannot be killed. But why you say that the soul is being killed? Because the very purpose of taking this human form of life is lost there. That's why it is told soul killer. Similarly, here also it is told, the person who is taking the pain on his body, he is suffering himself, and also the Paramatma is suffering. Just like when the child is suffering, the mother also gets the pain. Similarly, the Paramatma who is well-wishing for us, by seeing all our ignorant activities, he will also suffer, not forcefully, but it is voluntarily, or it is the nature of the super soul, Supreme Lord.
Prabhuji, another question.
Okay, just a minute, Mataji. Let me continue to Akila Mataji. I'll come back to you. Okay. Yeah. Yes, Akila Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Guruji. Hare
Hare.
Krishna. Guruji, that Jnayam, no? Jnayam. This
Yeah.
is Jnayam, object of knowledge. Object of knowledge and goal of knowledge both mean same, right?
No, knowledge means the Bhagavad Gita is the knowledge which is given by Krishna. And Jnaya means Lord Krishna himself. Through Bhagavad Gita, I am trying to understand Krishna. The Bhagavad Gita is the knowledge, Jnana, and Krishna is the Jnaya.
So
And
goal of knowledge. That
goal of
holds
knowledge
good.
is to understand Krishna. Yeah, Jnaya.
Goal of knowledge, it holds good.
Yeah, yeah, that is correct. Jnaya and goal of knowledge is same.
Okay.
What you are going to learn.
Then I have not attended level 3. So that Anya, Vilasha, that all those mantra we have to memorize. No? Where we get mantra, Guruji? Even that I am searching in this book now, I am not getting where it is.
No, that book, this will study after the Bhagavad Gita.
Because that meaning we have to know, like,
yes.
If I read more things means at least I'll remember 2-3 points. Where we get that actually? That is
no, that shloka is not given in this book. That is separately shared to you, maybe in the PDF. I will ask Gita Mataji to give you once again.
No, that is already there.
There.
You have stayed 3-4 page. No, that is there.
See, Prabhupada has made this book. There are 2 ways Prabhupada has written books. One is this Bhagavad Gita, shloka by shloka, word by word meaning, with the translation and purport. And there is another way of writing the book, that is summary. If you see Krishna book, that is the 10th canto Prabhupada has written in the summary form. There is no shloka. Similarly, Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu also, it is a summary book. There is no shloka in that. Shloka is there originally, but it is not a part of this book.
So where we have to refer, like for shloka?
No, that is enough. Whatever we shared, that is enough. Any additional shloka, if it is there, no need to memorize anything more. Any extra is there, that we will tell in the class itself. If you read the summary, that is enough. That is only the portion.
That's okay. That's it. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Just Nandita Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandvat Pranam. Prabhuji, this social orders, I have the Varanas, they've been emphasized so much in almost all the books that Prabhupada has written. I have been trying to read teachings of Lord Kapil Dev and Kapila Deva, son of Devahuti, and there it is almost every chapter, it something or the others explained about the social orders and the spiritual orders. That clearly shows us how important it was and is for us to follow that.
Yes.
And probably it was strictly followed, stringently followed in the past.
Yeah.
When, in which yuga or where did it start getting diluted, Prabhuji? And I mean, like now it is, because I've been reading, I understand that, or I can classify this person as this or whatever. Otherwise, like, like you were mentioning, it's mostly by birth and caste and all that has crept into it. So when actually did it just change like that? And I mean, will it ever become the way it was?
Exactly, we cannot tell when the dharma started deteriorating. It has started from the very beginning of creation. When Satya Yuga came, all the dharma was there in his 4 legs. And Treta Yuga became 3 legs. And Dwapara Yuga 2 legs. And Kali Yuga, there is 1 leg for the dharma. So it is gradually it is degrading. Just like if you see 100 years back, how the civilization in this country of India, if you see, and presently what is the situation, it has degraded. Very clear degradation we can see. Similarly, after 100 years, what may happen? So whatever we were thinking very, very sinful 100 years back, now it has become normal. People are taking it very casually in so many ways, if you see. But in 100 years later, we don't know what may happen. So the dharma, it goes on degrading one after another. The Dyutam, Panam, Striya, Suna, these are the 4 killers of the dharma. The dharma has 4 legs. The first one is Satya, Daya, Shaucha, this Dyutam. Dyutam means Satya, the one who is gambling, he will kill the truthfulness. And one who is meat eater, he will destroy the mercifulness. And one who is intoxicated, he cannot perform austerity, and the illicit sex will destroy the cleanliness. So these are the 4 legs of dharma which will be destroyed gradually. So exactly we cannot say it is like it is goes on slowly, goes on degrading. In the Satya Yuga and Treta Yuga, it was more strong, and when it came to this Dwapara, it becomes even more degraded. And even if you see the demons in Satya Yuga, the demons were in different planets, and the good people were in one planet. So the fight was between 2 planets. And in the Treta Yuga, it was between 2 countries. So they came more closer. And in Dwapar Yuga, it was within the family itself.
Yes.
And in Kali Yuga, it is within a person itself. One person has both the qualities. Sometimes he is demonic, sometimes he is divine. So it is gradually it is growing. We have to observe, and it is not same everywhere. Just like the Kali Yuga in India is not same as Kali Yuga in America. America is ahead of us in Kali Yuga. They have more sinful activities there. There's so many sinful activities which is considered still as sinful activity in India is not sinful activity in some other countries. So it is not equally distributed. There also there is some. And even Satya Yuga is happening in this present Kali Yuga also. There are people who are living a life of Satya Yuga. But it is lesser in number.
Yes. Prabhu, but okay, like coming to this, these kind of people living in the kind who lived in Satya Yuga, who are there now in a very minority. Even in all these yugas, there were Kshatriyas or kings and the ruling dynasties who also had people to support them, and which we can now equate to a politician. And politicians can be of, like you said, different gunas. Like they could be honest, they could be corrupt, they could be whatever. So what varna were they included in? I mean, whether they were honest or not, as politicians, what were they included in, Prabhu?
Now, the present politicians, if you see the qualities of a Kshatriya, they don't have it. What these politicians will do when the war happens? So you cannot call them as politicians. They are more or less, they are Shudras. They have taken the power in their hand, that's all. That is the problem with the democracy. But anyhow, the present generation will deserve only that much. The monarchy needs a responsible person. As Prabhupada says, a person who is educated in the Gurukula and who is a good-hearted person who takes care of their kingdom like his own children, such kind of person can become a monarch and he can rule over the world. Entire world can be ruled by him in a peace. Everything will be good. But the present population doesn't deserve this this kind of situation. So we are also unfortunate, and nobody is there to blame.
Yes, probably. Yes. It's a very sad state of affairs.
No, nothing to feel sad. Just like when there is rain, we should hold the umbrella. We should continue. Don't say that, oh, there is rain, how can I go out? No, you should wear your raincoat and move on. So Kali Yuga means there are a lot of problems. Kalau dosha nidhe rajan asti eko mahaguna. Kirtanadeva krishnasya mukta sangha param vrajit. When the exam is very, very tough, then valuation will be linear. You'll get more marks. So Krishna will take care of it. So in whatever yuga we may be, in whatever situation we may be, there is opportunity to perform Krishna consciousness.
I just remembered a quote by Srila Prabhupada. He said, "This is no place for a gentleman." In so many places he has said that, Prabhu, in so many lectures and so many books he says. So, I mean, the definition of gentleman is no longer how it used to be in the Satya Yuga or whenever before. Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, can I ask?
Yes, Mataji, please.
Prabhuji, in today's world, we all have coatings. we are not all the time, we are neither in mode of goodness, nor in mode of passion, nor in mode of ignorance. We have layers. When we have self-interest, we act good. We all know everything. We are so much enlightened by knowledge that all of us know what is good, what is ignorance, what is passion. So in today's society, what is the meaning of mode of nature? And second question I wanted to ask, today's society, you said in one of the shlokas that you should do work as per your nature, even if you do it imperfectly. Then copy someone and do it perfectly. But today we are doing that only. We don't know what is our real nature. Whatever qualifications we get, even as regards women also, people only daughters, they do cremation of their parents also. They are women in army also. So it is not a gender society to a very large extent nowadays. It is equal society, to each on his own. And so how do you balance it that our modes are covered by our self-interest and the Varna is also covered by the modern society?
I forgot your first question now. Okay, I will answer your second question first. So Bhagavatam is the solution. As Krishna, as the question raised by Shaunakadi Rishis, when Krishna went back to the kingdom, back to Godhead, when he finished his avatara, with whom the dharma has taken shelter, that is Bhagavatam. And what is Bhagavatam is saying, Tyaktva swadharmam charanambhujam harer bhajan napakkota patet tato yadi yatra kwa abhadra amusyakum kovarta apto bhajatam swadharmataha. Narada Muni is telling to Vedavyas, what he says, what is the problem if a person gives up all his activities and just performs devotional service and goes back to Godhead? And even if he takes to devotional service and he fails in that and is not successful in that, then also there is no loss. And what is the gain if a person performs all his duties, material duties perfectly and just lives like a gentleman? It is of no use. So devotional service is a solution. The Harinama is the only solution in Kali Yuga. We cannot bring back the situation whatever present earlier. As we have understood, it's a stepping stone, but Krishna, as Prabhupada, has given us elevator. You don't have to go step by step. Take the elevator and go back to Godhead. Just chant Hare Krishna, go back to Godhead. Don't worry in which varna you are. Don't worry in which ashrama. Perform whatever activities you are doing, wherever sthane sthito stutigatam. Wherever you are, you just add Krishna to your life and go back to Godhead. We cannot change the situation.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. What is your first question? I forgot.
My first question was, we are taught to be, we are coated with modes. We don't have our actual mode. You said in one of the shlokas, it was, even if by nature you are in some other varna, but you like you're a Brahmana by nature, you should not do the work of Kshatriya even if you are good in it. So there is today, we are going by what is available in market, what skills we are available, we go for that. We don't actually look inside us and say, okay, I'm good at it. We don't have the choices, or we don't have the mechanism to identify in what kind of activity we'll be good, because these are large societies. What Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita are talking about are small societies and communities or things. These today's world, this is economics which is ruling our.
No. Bhagavatam is a solution for everything. A person may be a rich person or poor person or whatever birth he has taken, either in India or America, China or Russia. Never mind. Krishna consciousness is for everyone. It is a solution for everything. You bring Krishna in your life, everything will be auspicious. If a person is very prosperous, then also he will be happy. And if a person is a pauper, he has lost everything in his life, then also he will become happy if Krishna comes into his life. And if there is no Krishna, then there is no happiness, even though you have everything in your life. Just like Shuchi hoya muchi hoy yadi Krishna tyaje, muchi hoya shuchi hoy yadi Krishna bhaje. One who brings the Krishna in his life is perfect or auspicious. And if Krishna is not there, whatever situation you may be having, you will not be able to live peacefully, or the life will not be perfect. Thank you, ma'am. Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Okay. Hope there are no more questions. I thank all the devotees for coming to today's class and actively participating in the discussions. We'll continue the chapter 18 in the next session. Thank you very much. वाञ्छा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः. अनंत कोटि वैष्णव की जय. नामाचार्य हरिदास ठाकुर की जय. Thank you very much.